set up a time in the calendar that's convenient for them. So we really work with the client, with their schedule, and then, top-notch communication is very, very important, especially for trade. I love DIYers, right? There's always an outlet for your passion, and for you to be able to channel that through doing DIYs or, painting a wall. I encourage people to do that because it's therapy. It's good for you. Hi, this is Michelle. I'm with That One Painter Greater Dallas, and this is the Working Class Roundup.
Saddle up. Punch that clock. Let's ride. This is the working class roundup. Spurs truck, boots up, pants rub. Clock in, hold on, don't fold up. We get paid, get trained, still show up. From the plant yard dust to the highway rust. Raise that cup, let's sound off. This is the working class roundup.
Yeehaw! Welcome to the Working Class Roundup. I'm your host, Cowboy Jody Collins, and with me today I have a painter extraordinaire, Michelle. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing good, Jody. How
Awesome, awesome. Hey, here at the Working Class Roundup, what we do is we put a spotlight on small and medium-sized businesses in the great state of Texas. They tell us about what their passion is, why they do, what they fell in love with their occupation about. And then on the flip side, we talk about the nightmares and the things that can happen, and you need to have insurance protection for it. So with that, let's get this shindig started. Michelle, That One Painter. You've had a kind of a unique story. Why don't you tell me how you got into the painting? But go back a little bit, what you used to do, because that's fascinating.
So I used to be in the healthcare industry, hospital, 25 plus years of experience, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and so started looking at franchises, and I just fell in love with That One Painter Resi Brands franchise, and so did my due diligence, studied the company, and it kind of aligned to what I hope to be, and so I'm here right now.
So that was the American dream for you, is to build
Ye-
be an entrepreneur.
yeah, absolutely. No, I love being in healthcare. I love helping people. I'm very passionate about that. Still am. I'm still kind of doing some consulting job on the side.
Okay.
But my main focus really right now is growing this business and hoping to help other people in a different way. So
Yeah, bringing some color to their life, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Color therapy.
That's right. That's right. I love that. Now, one of the things that when I think about painting, right, a lot of people out there will say, "Well, I'm gonna do it myself, or I'm gonna go to Home Depot and Lowe's and other." What advice could you give somebody like that, where it's like, I love the attitude, you want to do it yourself, but why hire a professional? What is the difference?
Well, for one, I love DIYers, right? I think they there's always an outlet for your passion, and for you to be able to channel that through through doing DIYs or painting a wall. I encourage people to do that because it's therapy. It's good for you.
Right.
But if you want professional finish, and a lot of DIYers, a lot of customers that I encounter with, they kind of started doing one wall, and then they find out it's not that easy. Then it's not.
This is true.
It's not. Um, so they ended up doing one wall, different color. They didn't like it, and then they shifted to another color, and they realize they're no longer that young to be doing the painting work. Maybe in their 20s, they said they did it and they were successful. They were happy of the outcome. But as they age, as they can you repeat that?
Yeah, no, you can say age. That's okay. I was just gonna say you can say age. That's not gonna offend me at all. No.
I don't wanna go in that direction really. But yeah,
Well, no, because again, it's true because again, I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I can paint a wall. I can get the rollers out. I'm bust out the gun and use the can. But what I don't want to do anymore is in these vaulted ceilings in the house, climb up on a 12-foot ladder and do that same thing because all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I'm really far up. And if something bad happens, I've got a wife, I got kids, and right, and that's what ultimately it boils down to is it's like, yeah, I can paint a little wall, I can paint a little laundry room, no biggie. I can, I'm tall, I can reach the top most of the rooms, but the more challenging stuff, that's where I'm like, wait a minute, and I don't think I want to do that much, right? And that's ultimately where it boils down to, right?
exactly. So just wanting to share, for example, anything that involves climbing the ladder, that's very risky. I wouldn't advise clients to do that. So there are areas of the house that you can maybe do touch ups on, but there are also areas like ladder, high places, 2-story living room. Please leave it to
Well, it's true
professionals.
because you think about it. You climb up a ladder, and but okay, most people can climb up a ladder. Now you're asking with one hand to roll paint. Okay, why can't you gum? I can do that. But now you're like, walk up the ladder, to roll with the paint, and don't spill the paint on the carpet and don't splatter it over. Now you're asking way too much. Now because there's too many things going on, right? So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What does that one painter do special? What is your niche? What have you tried to bring to the Dallas market with
Well,
the company?
we focus on residential. I mean, we do like commercial, we do doctors' offices, we do all of that. But really, our bread and butter are the residential, uh the houses
Okay.
basically, and residential customers we have. And what we bring is one, we have great painters. We promise to be the best house guest ever.
Good
From
promise.
some, yep, from booking your appointment, we make sure that we connect with you already. So we start the communication, right? We call the customer, up to, so from booking, we make sure that the time still works for you, and then we make sure that communication is constant. We come into the estimate, and then we present the proposal within 24 hours. Most of the time, 90% of the time, it's on the spot. We present the proposal to you, and then we make sure that all of your questions are answered on site as we present that estimate to you. We spend about 30 to an hour in the house with a customer, just making sure that we didn't forget anything, or they don't have any questions that are left unanswered. So we do that, and then once we agree on doing the project for them, and then once they're comfortable with us, and so we set up a time to in the calendar that's convenient for them. So we really work with the client with their schedule, and then top notch communication is very very important, especially for a trade. So from paint selection, um, color coordination, and color consultation, we sit down with them and really drill down what is it that you want to accomplish. Because at the end of the day, it's not my vision, it's not what I want, it's the customer's vision, and we're just there to execute that vision.
See, that's a great way to look at it. And then as far as like the prep, right? Because when I think about painting a room, obviously it's really convenient if the house is vacant, right? If it's a vacant property, oh, it's super easy. But usually there's stuff. There's usually things in the room that make it your home. And some of it could be really, really sentimental, right? So like in my home, we have this rocker that was the first gift I gave to my wife after we had our firstborn. And so that don't touch that chair. I can't even sit in it anymore. But But that's super important. How do you protect those type of memories and those kinds of assets for people?
So preparation is very, very important for us. We make sure that everything is covered. We don't even start painting unless we know that the important furnitures are covered, the floors are covered. We don't want any spills. We don't want any overspray. So we try to protect everything and spend a lot of time making sure that everything in your house is protected. Even the vents, we want that covered. If we're spraying, if it's an empty house, yes, excellent, great for us. But 90% of the time, it's not. So we also make sure that we work with the client, because at the end of the day, we want the space to be theirs. Again, our schedule is usually 8 to 5, and we want them comfortable after 5 and limit that risk as well for them, because safety is also very important, right? We don't want any paint cans just lying around and brushes just there that can trigger any accidents. So we make sure that preparation, everything is protected, but definitely safety is also our top priority.
Right. Yeah. Safety, efficiency, professionalism, those are all things that customers for sure are looking for. Um, was it so you said consulting, you mentioned that. I wanna jump back into that. How what kind of a process do you go through on when they're selecting their colors and things like that? Because I'm gonna admit for myself, I've been in the Home Depot when the boss, she's sitting there and she's doing this, and I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's white, but she's like, nope, nope, no, and the different brands. So talk about that. How different brands are different. Why? What's going on with the brands and the color schemes and things like that? Walk us through that.
So we work with big name brands. We work with Benjamin Moore, Sherwin Williams. We work with Bayer, PPG, all of that. Those are excellent, excellent, respectable brands, and it depends on the customer's choice. Of course, they can always say, we want to work with this paint. We want to do this paint, and 90% of the time, it's this quality brands that they want, like Sherwin or let's say Benjamin Moore and Bayer, because it's accessible to the market. But really, if there's no paint, if like for example, if they have a paint from another manufacturer that we don't work with, we can always color match them with Benjamin Moore paint or Bayer paint or Sherwin Williams paint. So that's really something that at the end of the day, it's the client's choice, and it's their brand of choice that we want to go with. And also, when I go on estimates, I carry with me brochures that are the client can select readily whatever color they want. So that's always the fun part, choosing the color. You can just see the face of the clients when they when you get to that part, because everything changes, because that's the fun part. That's the easiest part, right? They already got approval from their spouses to go ahead with the project. Okay, now let's do the fun part.
That's true. That's true. All right, I got a really loaded shotgun question for you. It's really important, and I know the working class nation wants to answer this. Brush or spray? Which one's better?
Depends. It depends. Yeah. Um 90% of our, I would say 80 to 90% of our clientele, we do brush, because one, it's more controlled, right? Especially in spaces where people are living in the house, and spray, if it's vacant, then we opt to spray. It doesn't always happen, but with cabinetries, with walls, it's mostly we're just rolling, brush and roll. But with cabinets, it's the difference in the method really shows in the end product.
Okay, that's important, right? Because again, that comes to the happiness of the end, right? The joy is if it doesn't look right. And so would you say that the spray is the convenient, fast way to get through a job? And then if you brush it and roll it, it's more care, more love, but it also shows in results?
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, with cabinets, if you spray it, you kind of get like an almost like a factory like finish, really premium, great evenness to it. So it has that nice quality to it over brush and roll. Of course, it's gonna cost the client a little more.
Right, but it's better quality, so it would naturally be, obviously a little bit more expensive. And that's a great segue. And speaking of, my producer's giving me the sign. We got to pay some bills around here, so we're gonna go ahead and talk to some, and you're gonna hear some words from our partners and sponsors that make this program available. We'll be right back with Michelle and that one painter.
Hey there, Working Class Nation. Jonathan with Leafy Link, your marketing geek in green. Are you a business owner who's managing your own social media but not getting the results, or not even finding the time to capture and edit that content? I know it's a tedious task, but hey, that's something that my team and I can definitely help you with. If you're interested in someone managing your content for social media, please click on the description below and I'll help you out. Again, my name is Jonathan with Leafy Link, your marketing geek in green.
In the Middle Ages, they called it a shield. In the modern days, they call it a wingman. And what I call it today is an insurance carrier. And we're there to get your backside, to protect you, to keep your assets in line. And that's what we do here at Amax Commercial. If you need commercial auto, if you need general liability, workers' comp, we've got all the products to protect your business. Reach out to us today with the link down below. We can try to help protect you. A to the max effort is what we're about. Now back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to the Working Class Roundup. I'm here with that one painter and Michelle, talking about painting. Now we're gonna flip gears. We're gonna talk about some of the things that can happen from an insurance standpoint with painters. And one of the things that I know that's super important, whether you're working for a general contractor or you're just doing a side project for a residential home, is having insurance, right? Let's talk about, you mentioned getting up on the ladder is dangerous. Let's talk about some of those dangers that could potentially happen on a job site. So you wanna run down some of the threats that you recognize, that that could potentially exist on your in your work area?
Absolutely. So, as painters, we always deal with ladders, high spaces, hard to reach areas, exterior of the house that are 2 stories, and chimneys that we have to paint. So danger and risk is always present in our job. It's the preparation that's key. And with me, I make sure that the painters are, one, they're safe, and then two, they carry also liability insurance,
Right.
which is very important.
It is, yeah. Yeah, well, you were saying that because again, my insurance brain started going, "Ooh, you've got ladders and height, you've got unground if you're doing outside painting, you've got uneven ground, like landscape, grass, or ladders, if it's been raining all night, can sink, which is
Exactly.
unbalanced, right? You have wet paint on plastic, which as a kid, that would have been a ball. I mean, I slid down that thing, but as an adult, that's warning, Will Robinson, right? It would have been really bad. So all those things, that can happen, and it's not to you, but it's to the homeowners. It's to the kids that live in the house. If they slip or if the ladder falls or something drops, a paint can or a roller or something slips off the ladder, that's general liability. That's where it's got to be there. And you don't really put a value on family members, right? So that's really important that that's covered. But then also on the flip side, there is another coverage that's really important for you as an owner, right? For your employees, um, workers' comp, right? And that's one that I think is super important, especially in the profession of a painter, because there's so many things that could potentially happen. Sprayer clog, they're working up on the ladder to try and unclog it because it's not convenient to get down and flush in, and then it sprays and then they fall or something. So yeah, I've seen nightmares on that side. And again, they might be out 2, 3, 4, 6 months, weeks, and they need a paycheck, and that's where workers' comp can come in and take care of that. So, um, now I want to ask because again, some of these things, claims can happen. Water damage, right? Because I know there's been some pipes that have frozen or breakage in water lines. What does water do to the paint if it's coming from the inside of the wall, not from the exterior? Because I know some of them are.
Yeah.
So
Well, it will just completely ruin the wood, the surface, and then it will seep through the paint. You can basically, it ruins everything. It ruins everything. Yeah, that's the sad part of it. And from a painter's perspective, we just can't repaint it, and hope it will go away, because it won't. So we have to fix the. I'm not a roofer. I'm not an expert renovator of restoration. But what I would advise the client is seek out plumbing first, or anything. Look at the source of the leak first,
right.
and then we can talk about repairing. Once that's fixed, then we can talk about repairing the drywall, and then repainting it and making it look beautiful.
See, that's a beautiful segue, because again, the idea is that if it was your body and you were sick, you'd go to a specialist first, right? The first specialist is you get the plumber to fix the leak. Then you've got to look, well, how long was it leaking? And is there mold? Okay, mitigate the mold. Then you want to repair the drywall and then the wood, cut it all out, replace it. And now when it's the bare bones, now we bring in the painter, the finisher, right? You get to put that happy smile on the face because it's the final coat, if you will, right?
I've stopped a job and put it on hold because we found molds, and we just, or for the life of me, I just can't have in my conscience to not tell the client that, ma'am, you have black molds here, or you have molds here. This needs to be treated. And then, that's something that I can refer them to my restoration referral partner.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, Michelle, because again, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people where they see mold and in their mind they just, oh, I'll just paint over it. What does the mold do to the paint?
Well, it won't necessarily do anything that's harmful to the paint. It's more like for the homeowner. You can't it's the homeowner to be living in a space that for yourself, that's not healthy, because of the presence of the mold, and then you just painted over it. That's not what that one painter is. That's not that one painter represents.
No, and they know that's important, because it's, because again, just because you paint over it, again, so from the outside eyes you don't see it anymore, but the problem is the mold's still there, and if the reason for the mold is still there, there's just gonna be more mold. It's just gonna be building up, and then it's gonna be 10 times worse
Yeah.
than if you just treated it before you painted it. So that makes sense. Michelle, how would people get a hold of you if they wanted to consult with you?
So we do have a website. We are in Facebook. We have a marketing number.
And
that they
we'll
can
put all that in the
call.
below
Yes,
on when we do the
yes,
podcast. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah. We are in Google. We're on Facebook, and yeah, we're social media, and the number is.
Okay, use one down, and then the musicians of editing will put it down there for us. That's the beauty of it. Hey, Working Class Nation, if you need help with a painting project or a home remedy, make sure you click on the link below. Contact Michelle and that one painter. She can help you out. If you need help ensuring that commercial exposure, also down below, we can help you out with that. Thank you for joining, Michelle. Thank you for being our guest today. Really appreciate it. And to the Working Class Nation, happy sales and happy trails. We'll see you on the flip.